is in the midst of one of the most consequential elections that I have seen in a very long time. Maryland is what they call a play state, right? And we know there's a lot at stake in the 2024 election. We launched our Unity 2024 Power of the Ballot national campaign, which is the fourth state we've been in since October of last year. And we're here in the state of Maryland, and we're not going anywhere. And so we started our bus tour yesterday. We're out here canvassing and we're hitting the streets just to encourage our people to own their power, i.e. the power of the ballot. And so tonight, we wanted to make sure you can't be everywhere knocking on every door, but technology allows us to come together and reach many more folks. And it's about understanding what's at stake, understanding that we are winning. What is the power of the ballot really all about? So this is a rally, y'all. So y'all, just those who are out there watching, just join in with us. We want to have a little fun. I think when you're working when it comes to building power and fighting for power, we can have some fun while we're doing it. And so it's my honor and my pleasure to turn this over to our celebrity host of the hour, my sister, my Sarah, my ride or die on the ground, getting it done. She wears many, many hats. Yes, she's in an entertainment business, but she is an entertainer with a purpose. She has a conscience. She understands social justice. She understands women's rights, voters' rights, that we got to fight for our freedom and all that. She's a mother, and she's a fun sister to be around. So Michelle, the indie mom of comedy, who I believe, am I correct, is a sister from Baltimore, Maryland. We turn the floor over to you, my sister, to get this rally, Power of the Ballot, We Won't Be Erased rally off to a great start. And Michelle, turn it over to you, my sister.
Thank you so much, Soror, Madam President, Melanie Campbell, and the entire Power of the Ballot. We will not be erased. Yes, I am a proud Charm City girl from Baltimore, Zone 15, same zone where my mayor is from. But I'm living in Brooklyn, New York. But you know what? Baltimore is and will always be home. That's where I vote. That's where I pay taxes. Let's go. I'm super excited to host this Power of the Ballot, Power of the Sister Vote event tonight. Are y'all excited? I want to know if y'all are excited to be here. Make some noise if y'all are excited to be here with us tonight, because I'm super duper excited about hosting this thing tonight, moderating this thing. I got to say this though, Melanie. What I love about the Power of the Sister Vote is that we understand that our power cannot be erased. And so we are here. We are on screens from all over this country, jumping off in my home state of Maryland. Excited to be at this stop with you guys. Can't wait to jump in. I'm going to jump right in, Mel, because we got a lot of amazing, powerful women with us tonight. So I'm jumping right in on here. We got to do things decent and in order. So what I'm going to do first is let the greetings come. We got some of our good people on here that help make sure that we got some power to actually do some power. We talking about a little coin. I'm saying help us get a little coin to make sure we take care of business. But we got to introduce our vice chair of the board of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation, Ms. Diane Babineau. Diane, can you please just give us a few remarks, sis? Give us some love. Give us some love, y'all.
Yeah.
Give us some love.
Yes. I just ran back in the house from going down there to post 2675, and we have a video for fired up. And I want to thank all the sisters for joining in. And I'm like Reverend Lee said yesterday, do you know what time it is? Just want to make sure that the time is now, Power of the Ballot, and thank you. And as you say, we're going to move on to some exciting, and we're pumped up. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you so much, Sister Babineau. We are so grateful for you running back in the house. And we are so excited to bring up our next sister, our co-convener from the great state of Maryland. Can y'all please give us some love? Miss LaWanna Brown. Where are you, LaWanna?
I'm right here. I'm excited to be here tonight. And I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of this. I am so excited about working with my co-convener, Robin Williams. This has been just an amazing journey. And I am really just fired up about all the things that we need to do in Maryland to get this election going in the direction that we need it to go, so that we can look out for the people, because the people are who matter and we are the people. Our issues are everyone's issues. Black Women's Roundtable, NCBCP, we already know when Black women are taken care of, everybody is taken care of. And so we want to make sure that we get people out to the polls, we get people out to vote. And I'm just fired up about all this work that we are about to do. So thank you so much. And I'll turn it back over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Lawana. Where's your co-convener, Robin Williams? We need to hear
She is right there.
We need to hear from you, sis. It's a rally. We are power of the sister vote. Let's go.
We're fired up. We're fired up here, Maryland. We're ready to go. We've already started. Yesterday, we had a busload that we took to vote yesterday. You know, Black women are powerful here in Maryland. Many of us on this call, but we got some Black women that are ready to vote here in the state of Maryland. So we're going to pump them up. We're going to get them to the polls this week. Hey, look, let me tell you, here in Maryland, our senior citizens, they are hot for ready to get out to those polls. So we're going to be taking senior citizens to the polls. We got a group of young sisters and brothers that walk the streets today here in Prince George's County, you know, mobilizing people to the polls. You know, we have early voting here. It started on the 6th and it ends on the 9th. So look, sis, we are pushing them to the polls. We know that Black women come with the issues of economy, job, good pay, health care. You know, we love to protect our reproductive rights and our voting rights. And we also, here in the state of Maryland, our senior citizens count. And so we want to protect Social Security. So as Black women, as you know, we know how to talk about the issues. As we talk about the issues, we're going to move folks to the poll. Like Melanie said, we have a very important election this year. You know, we gotta get our folks in the Senate. We gotta make sure that we have the right leaders in the federal government. So we're ready to move the vote here in the state of Maryland. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Robin. Okay, my home state is ready to rock and roll. Now, we do things in decency and in order here at the Black Women's Roundtable with the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation. We can't go any further, not 1 second further, without some inspiration. Is that all right? Can we get a little bit of inspiration, ladies? Let me see if y'all are on, but we need some inspiration. Not that we are not inspired. We want to thank DJ Keeby for getting us fired up. Thank you, DJ Keeby. Straight out of Baltimore, we love and appreciate you for getting us fired up this evening. But we're going to keep this thing going. We got to level it up. We've got to bring up our other sister soror and Madam President and CEO of the National Council of Negro Women. Can you help me bring up our dear sister, Reverend Siobhan Arline Bradley? Can y'all help me bring up Reverend Siobhan? Siobhan, where are you? Where are you, beloved?
Hey. Hello. It is so good to be in the state of Maryland tonight. I am fired up, ready to go. I'm a Jersey girl transplanted to Maryland, and I'm just not leaving because I'm so proud of what's happening in Maryland strong. I will tell you tonight, my sisters, I'm here joining you live in Howard County, Maryland. I just voted yesterday. I took my soul to the polls yesterday after I saw the Lord. Then I went to see the polls. Amen, somebody. Come on, take your soul to the poll. It doesn't matter the day, it doesn't matter the hour. It matters that you cast your ballot. Listen, sisters, tonight is very, very special for all of us that are here, not only in the state of Maryland, but those of us that are joining around this country. I am standing here on the shoulders of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, of Dr. Dorothy Irene Height, sisters who trailblazed for all of us to be able to have access to this right to vote. And I want to shout out my sister Melanie Campbell, all the sisters that are coming on tonight, because this is what Black women do so well. We know how to line up, get information, and do what thus saith the Lord. So tonight, I am telling you, sisters, those that are watching on Facebook Live, I see all the shout outs that are coming to on social media. We are here, we're pushing, and don't forget, it's time to make history, Maryland. You know what to do. Get out to the polls. Do it not only for our ancestors, but for our future. I took my 10-year-old son, he watched me click my button, and he knows he's going to take this soul to the poll in about 8 more years. So let me just tell you, sisters, get fired up. Maryland strong is what it is. And this is about changing the trajectory of our country. Now, Black women, let's save democracy again, like we always do. God bless you, and I love you. So I'm going to hit it back to you. I love your work. So proud of you. Love you, Mel, Robin. I see all of y'all tonight. We're going to have a good time, because I can tell you this, on May 14th, I think I'm going to be shouting. Come on,
Yes,
Marilyn.
indeed. Yes, indeed, Sora. Yes, indeed. So we got our inspiration from our good sister. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. Baltimore brings some of the baddest sisters in leadership that was ever created. I'm originally from Baltimore. I claim Baltimore every day, all up in New York and throughout the country. This next sister that's coming to rally with us, oh my goodness. She said she saw a need and filled a need because it wasn't even there. Ain't nobody talking back to me. This sister created something that wasn't even there, and now it's there, and it's taking up major space, not just in Baltimore, Maryland, but across the country. I'm so proud of our dear Sora, and I have to introduce her. Please give it up for Black Girls Vote founder and CEO, Nikitra Robinson. Y'all better make some noise for that
Yes, thank you.
Baltimore Charm City
All
Girl.
right,
Yes,
Nikita.
thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it is such an honor to be amongst so many beautiful, powerful, amazing, dope Black girls. And you know, and I look at everyone who's here. I just want to say and honor my mom who has transitioned. Mama, I wish you could be here to see this because Mama, I made it. I am here with some of the baddest women in the country, in the world right now. And I just want to say we are fired up here in Maryland. But more importantly, sisters, in this season, I want you to give yourselves grace. As Sister Siobhan said, we're here to save democracy again, but make sure you take the time to save yourself. As we sit here, we mobilize everyone and take care of everyone else. Give yourself grace, but also take time for yourself. But yes, we are fired up. We are excited about this election. We are excited about what's to come. And more importantly, let's take our young people to the polls. We started a campaign. Who are you voting in honor of this election season? Because we know some people are not as motivated as we want them to be, but vote in honor of your mom, vote in honor of your cousins, your sisters, your deceased parents, whoever that may be, someone who's incarcerated. We're voting in honor of them, and we're excited for them. We're excited for this election, and as our sister Melanie said, there's power in the sister ballot, but there's also power. There's nothing like the power of Black women. So we are here. We're excited as Black girls vote, and each and every one of you here on this call as a sister, you are a Black girl who votes. So yes, tag us, support us, and we want to support every single organization that is represented here because it's not just about mobilizing us, but mobilizing the next generation of Black girls who are watching us, and they don't want us, they need us. And more importantly, they need direction and guidance. So we're here to guide them and support them, but more importantly, get the right people in office who are there who support our issues as Black women. So thank you so much, Sister Melanie, for having us. We would not be here without you. Thank you for convening us and giving us this opportunity. And sisters, let's do it as we always do.
Thank you so much, Nike. Thank you so much, Nike. We're talking about the power of the sister vote. We can't talk about power without talking about the powerful, the one and only national president and chair of the board of directors of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Y'all got to help me bring my soror up here. Miss Elsie Cooper Combs, where are you, Madam President? Where are you, Madam President?
I'm right here. I'm right here. Good evening, everyone. Hello to all of my sisters of the state of Maryland and across the country, because I will have to tell you, even those of us who don't live in Maryland are watching Maryland. We're supporting Maryland, and we want to make sure that our voices and our votes count in this upcoming election. Not only in Maryland, but across the country. But since we're focusing on Maryland tonight, I just want you to know that I am here standing in the footsteps of our founders of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, who fought for women's suffrage in 1913, and knowing that Delta Sigma Theta has fought for the right to vote and to protect the right to vote since that time. I am here because we have so many of our members in the state of Maryland who are mobilized. They are working hard. Those of us who are not in this in the state are sending our funds. We're sending our dollars because it is an absolutely critical election. We know it is critical from the standpoint that this election could make the difference as we are looking to save our entire democracy across this country. So the state of Maryland, just know, everybody out there under the sound of my voice, we are supporting you, from those of our members who are on the street corners and everywhere they have to be to make sure that we're getting out the right to vote. And again, those of us are supporting you from across the country. Just know that we have the opportunity to make history in the state of Maryland. We have the opportunity to make sure that more Black women get the opportunity to serve in office, that more who are focused on the issues that we're focused on get a chance to serve in office. It is up to each and every one of us. So each and every one of us must do our part. Don't sleep on this election. We have to pull out all the stops and just know that we are ready to do that from now until May 14th. And then for the general election, we're going to do this thing, my sisters, because that's what we do.
Thank you so much, Sora Holmes. We love and appreciate your dedication, your service, and certainly your fortitude. We are so happy to be in partnership with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We talked about power. We talked about the power of the ballot. We got to take it a step further. Let's talk about how Black women are winning. We're going to talk about the power of the ballot, but we're going to talk about how Black women are winning. Who better to start this thing off than the co-founder of Black Voters Matter? Can y'all make some noise for my dear sister, Latasha Brown? Come on, y'all. Let's hear it. Let's hear it for Latasha. Let's hear it for Latasha.
Sis, she's not on. She's having a little emergency she's taking. Okay. So we're going to go to the other power sister.
Let me tell you right now, we in good shape right here. Because I don't think you can get more winning than this next sister that's going to just step right here to the screen. I am honored and pleased and grateful to have you with us, the one and only National Council of Churches president. Please give it up. And we're not trying to say that we everywhere, but this is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and the great bishop. Can we please bring up our dear sister, Bishop Vashti McKenzie? Bishop?
All right. Hello, Maryland. Maryland is my home, born, raised, went to public school. Come on, y'all say amen. Graduated from Maryland Higher Education Institute, University of Maryland. So Maryland is my home, my heart. And come on, my sisters, I'm counting on you to do the right thing. What is the right thing? The right thing is to cast our votes. The right thing is that we're not choosing leaders or policies, but we're shaping the kind of world that we want to live in. The right thing is to stand up for our right to have clean air, our right for clean water, our right for a safe neighborhood, where the right thing to do is to vote in this election and every election for equal opportunities for all. The right thing to do is to defend our rights for religious freedom, the right to free speech, the right for the ability to live our lives with dignity and respect. Isn't that right? Right. This is where you're supposed to respond to me. I'm a preacher.
That's right. That's right.
Say so, Bishop. Say so, Bishop.
Yes. Yes.
Learning rights, right?
Right.
Education rights, right?
Yes.
Right.
Voting rights, right?
Yes.
Women's rights, right?
Yes.
Religious freedom, right?
Right.
Free assembly, right?
Right.
The right to live in a neighborhood that does not determine your life expectancy. Come on, y'all say amen.
Say so, Bishop. Amen.
Too many people died. Too many people bled. There's too much that is at stake. So I urge you to embrace this sacred right and privilege of voting again. We can make the difference. We can turn the tide. Don't fall for the yoke doke and stay home. Go to the polls, vote your choice, and take others with you. Yeah, just like as my soror Siobhan took her son, you take your grandma, your auntie, your uncle, the kids, the neighbor kids, take everybody with you so that they can see what happens. You have the right and the power is in your hand. Don't let anybody take it away from you. Come on, let the church say amen.
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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Thank you so much, Bishop. Thank you so much, Bishop, for taking time out to be with us. And we are honored that you are from the great state of Maryland, born and raised. I felt that move of God. I felt that jump. We want to keep this thing moving because we know that not only do we have power, not only are Black women winning, but we got to protect our freedom to learn our Black history, which is American history. Ain't nobody talking back to me. Black history is American history.
Yes.
And so we should have the right, when you have power at the ballot, to make sure that our history is being shared. We can't do no wrong by bringing up this sister that's about to talk about to protect our freedom to learn Black history is because American history is Black history. Help me welcome to this panel, Dr. Loretta Johnson, president of the A. Philip Randolph Institute, Baltimore. Help us out. Bring up Dr. Loretta Johnson. Dr. Johnson?
Come on, Dr. J.
I'm honored to be on the panel with all these powerful women. I'm so glad I lived to see all of us together united like this. I have walked the streets of Baltimore for over 60 years. I've been president of the A. Philip Randolph in Baltimore over 40 years. And that's exactly what we are. We walk, hit on those doors, knock on those doors, get the folks out to vote. We say sometimes it takes a 4-letter word, vote. We gotta get them out to vote. I talk to my grandchildren, my great-grand. I have been on there knocking on those doors myself, so I know. And we get them out, we take them to vote on vote day, and we're in a coalition with everybody. Right. Over here now. Maryland is united. We are united. Every organization I heard out here tonight, in some way, we are coalition with NCBCP. All of the organizations out here are together, and we all got one goal: to get our people to vote. Not just our women, because we've always voted right.
That's right.
We got to get behind those men.
Say that.
Get them out. They got to understand they can't play around with the gun law and all this crazy stuff they talking. They have to come out and vote right. The worst thing we got going, and we got to talk about it at some point, democracy versus dictatorship.
Right.
That's what's going to be going on in November when we get past Maryland. Democracy versus dictatorship.
That's
we
right.
Have to fight to make sure all the goals, all the shoulders that we stand on, that we continue to have the right to vote.
That's right.
Trump has told you what he's going to do. You better believe it. And that's what I'm saying on the streets every day. We in coalitions, I want to thank you tonight for all of you. This unity is going to make a difference in Maryland. We're going to win. I'm not worried anymore because I see what we have and how we are working together. So thank you so much for letting me be here to speak tonight. And let's keep the fight going.
Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson.
It was worth it for me.
Jay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Johnson.
Yes.
And we honor you for your 60 years of walking the street. Now, you make sure you say that the right way when you say it next time. That sounds kind of funny, Dr. Johnson, walking the streets. So you got to say, to get people out to vote now. You got to put the in part, because it could sound like you just been walking the street. No, but we love you. We honor you. We thank you so much for 40 years leading A. Philip Randolph in Baltimore. We honor you, Dr. Johnson. We're going to keep it going. And again, we're talking about protecting our freedom to learn Black history, which is American history. All right. And no better person can come up and speak on this panel than this dear sister. And again, this ain't a coup. We just do what we do. She's the 22nd past national president of our dear sorority, the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Dr. Gwendolyn Boyd. Can you help us talk about Black history being American history, Dr. Boyd? We honor you, and you're not aging. I don't know what you're doing, but we bless God for you. We bless God for the side swoop and the brows. You killing it, Dr. Boyd. You killing it.
Oh, praise the Lord, everybody.
To
all of you, my awesome and amazing, blessed and highly favored, educated sorors in the state of Maryland and all who are listening from all across the country. It is truly an honor to be with all of you this evening as we talk about the power of the vote. And we all know that our voice is in our vote. And again, we know that the power of education that it is our ticket to freedom. It was in the past, and it still is for the future. I always used to say we have to understand how important education is, because they made a law against teaching African Americans how to read and write. So that should tell us something right there, that education is our ticket. If not, why do they want to ban books? Why do they want to take Black history out of the textbooks? Why do they want to redact everything good that we've done and take it away from future generations so they don't know where they come from? Why is it that they want us to be distracted and dismissed and maligned and mistreated? Because they know that education makes the difference. As a former college president, I said it always to my students: if they put it in your mind, nobody can take it away from you. And so tonight, as we come together in this band of strong sisterhood, let's remember how important the ABCs are. We got to stay alert. We got to know the facts. We got to know everything that's going on. We got to know the issues. We got to stay alert, because the enemy is coming around us and trying to tell us that lies are truth when we already know the truth. So we got to stay alert. And then we got to be bold. We got to take it to them. We got to let them know we know what we're talking about. And power comes from us staying together and sticking together. And then the C is being committed to the cause. We've got to hit the streets. We've got to let our young people know that they can't stay home. They have to vote. People died for them to have the opportunity to have an education. We see all of the video, and they need to know those were real people. That's not a movie. Those were real people who were pushed up against the wall, and real people who died so that we could have the freedom we have today. So we've got to make sure our ABCs stay alert, be bold, and stay committed to the cause. Let's go out and use our voice by voting.
Thank you so much, Dr. Boyd. We are going to use our ABCs without a doubt, and we are grateful for you reminding us of the great history of our ancestors and all that they did to secure our right to vote. So we're going to talk about power of the ballot. We're going to keep on going and talk about the power of the sister vote. And we know that without that, there is no justice and there is no peace. And so we have to stay vigilant and make sure that we vote for justice. That being said, our next women to speak, I think I got a note about one of our dear sisters is not on board yet. So I'll move to the next sister on our agenda. We're going to hear from our dear sister from the National Action Network. So excited to have her with us. We're going to hear from Sister Trudy Lucas, who is Manager of Religious Affairs and External Affairs at NAN, at the National Action Network. Trudy?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am just so excited to be here. To all of my beautiful sisters, I just want to say thank you for all that you do, seen and unseen. I am Trudy Grant. I'm the Manager of Religious Affairs for the National Action Network, where faith is our foundation, but action is our middle name. I just want to say how much I am just excited about what Baltimore will do. Baltimore is dear and near to my heart. I cut my teeth at the NCBCP in Baltimore. So I am just excited about what you can do. I am currently in South Carolina, where we actually launch the power of the ballot. And we are still going strong from that event that we had here in South Carolina. Just want to leave with you that Reverend Sharpton will be endeavoring on a nationwide GOTV tour. And so as soon as we get those dates and that information, we'll get it out to everybody on this call. Just let me leave this with you. Your vote are three things. It's powerful, it's precious, and it's personal. So we want you to use that to encourage each other. Let them know that there's nobody out there that can take their vote as long as they put it in action. And we thank you. We thank you, Sister Mel, for the opportunity to be here with this beautiful August body of believers and voters. God bless you. No justice, no peace.
Thank you so much, Sister Lucas. We appreciate you, and we are so happy to hear that they're still on fire in South Carolina from the launch months ago. We're going to ask you guys to bear with us as we bring up our next group of panelists. I think I'm clear that we still have a few sisters that are making their way. But meanwhile, we got to talk about economic justice. We have to talk about our economic power as women, as Black women, the power of our sister vote. And we can't do no wrong if we bring this sister up to talk about the power of the ballot and economic justice. We're going to talk about protecting our diversity, our equity, and our inclusion. Whoever thought that there would be a day that we had to talk about protecting that, but we do. Senior Policy Advisor for the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation and the Black Women's Roundtable. We want to hear from you, Sister Joy Cheney. Joy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so thrilled to be on here. Power of the ballot, we will not be erased. My name is Joy Cheney. I'm a consultant, and I am privileged to have Melanie Campbell and the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation and the Black Women's Roundtable as my clients, my sisters, my friends, my mentors, all of the things. Now, let me tell you what, I'm here to talk about economics. Did you all know? I know everyone did. And by the way, I am in Montgomery County. I am a Montgomery County resident. And I'm going to say there are a lot of Deltas on this call, but there is at least one fabulous AKA on this call, and that is me. And I also see many wonderful members of the Links Incorporated.
It's a few
of us. Yes, and many wonderful members of the Links Incorporated. And what this means is this is just a moment where Black women are getting together writ large, and we are reminding you all to vote, to vote, to vote. It is so important. And then to take people with you. Now, Black Women's Roundtable partnered with Essence a couple of months ago to do a poll of Black women. It was about 800 or so Black women who were polled back from February, and the poll was released in March. And the top priority for Black women was the economy. This is no surprise to us. We know that our people, they care about democracy, they care about justice, they care about all those things, but economic justice, those kitchen table issues are at the top of their mind. And so there are some of you out there who are thinking, why should I vote? You should vote because economic justice is on the ballot. The ability to have pay equity is on the ballot. And you might say, well, it's Maryland, it's not so bad. But let me tell you, there's still a wage gap for Black women, for all women, right here in the state of Maryland and across the country. And so when we talk about voting here, you're not only impacting Maryland, you're impacting, hey, the outcome of this election could mean so much for the whole country. So economic justice is on the ballot. The ability to own your own home or your condo, as the case may be, is on the ballot. The ability to get a loan, if indeed you want to start a business. There are a lot of small business owners right here on this call. I know many of them. The ability to have a loan is on the ballot. Right here, the ability to have affordable health care. You might say, is that an economic issue? Oh, yeah. If you've ever been sick, if you've ever had someone who's been sick that you're caring for, you know just how expensive it can be, even when you have insurance. So that is on the ballot. And yes, the fight for forgiveness of student loans is on the ballot. We will continue to fight for that. That is on the ballot here. Even things like the child tax credit for those who enjoyed that at the beginning of this particular administration. We don't care who you vote for. We just want you to vote. But that is something that was at the top of the Biden administration, sure. But it only will last if we have people who are there to bring it back in Congress. So that is on the ballot. So much paid leave, an economic issue, is on the ballot. Affordable childcare, an economic issue, is on the ballot. Payment for caregivers, an economic issue, is on the ballot. Michelle and I were at that fantastic AARP panel at CBC last year, and we talked deeply about the impact of caregiving of adults and older people on Black women in particular, but voters. It's an economic issue. All of that is on the ballot, and it is on the minds of Black women voters, the same Black women that Black Women's Roundtable and all of you here represent. When we vote for not only us, but we vote for them. So get out and do it, Marilyn. We're counting on you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, our dear Divine Nine Sister, Sister Joy Caney. We are so appreciative of all that you are doing. We would love, love, love to hear from our dear sister as we talk about economic justice and economic power. We're rounding this thing out. We can't help but bring her up here. Can you guys help me bring up the dear sister, the president of Values Partnership, Miss Michelle Dubois? Michelle, can you speak with us tonight? We are so happy to have you.
Absolutely. It's so good to be here with you all. What a beautiful and powerful night. A gathering of sisters. Melanie, we have to thank you for all that you do, all the ways in which you connect us and convene us to ensure that we are getting the message out to our community of how important it is for us to vote in this election and every election. I am Michelle Dubois. I'm the president of Values Partnerships, and I'm so delighted to be here with you all. I am a proud resident of the great state of Maryland and the wonderful and beautiful Prince George's County. My husband and I have been here for almost 10 years now, and we are officially transplants that are now made this our home because it is a wonderful state. It is a state that is leading in so many ways. And this consequential election means that we need to lead in this one as well. You know why? Because the momentum that we will gain in this election will carry into the general. And we all know that in the general election, as our beautiful sister said it earlier, it is an election between democracy and dictatorship. And we all know that this is a very strongly built country, but things can slip very fast. And so that is why we need to get out and vote and show leadership in this election. The great state of Maryland has always been a leader, and we need to continue to be a leader. We know that there's so much that is on this ballot. We know that there's so much that you need to vote for. There are so many different issues, and we encourage everybody on this line to get out and to cast your ballot for those candidates that reflect your values, that are for diversity, equity, and inclusion, not just in lip service, but in policy, right? We have a wonderful governor, but he needs help on these issues. And so we need to be voting up and down the ballot to ensure that the values that we hold are reflected in our policies. And so with that, we encourage everybody to get out and vote. Don't talk about who you want to vote for. Don't talk about who the best candidates are. None of that matters if you don't cast a vote. You must cast your own vote. Your mom cannot cast a vote for you. Your grandmother cannot cast a vote for you. Your thoughts, your wishes will not cast a vote for you. You must get out to the polls and cast your vote in this very consequential election. There is so much at stake. It's not just for our state, but for many other states that will be watching what we do here. And so we know that these are times that we have to be watchful. As our sister said earlier, the enemy is at work, and we must be watchful. We must be wise. We must be diligent, and we must show up and do our part. There, yes, have been many, countless people who have died for us to have this vote, to have the right to vote. And we know why, because your ability to cast a vote can change a nation. And we've done it before, Black women. We have done it time and time again. We're going to do it again, but let's take others with us to the polls. Let's take our uncles, our cousins, our neighbors, encourage everybody you know to come to the polls with you, because this is an extraordinarily important election. All elections matter, but this is a very, very closely watched election to see what the state of Maryland is doing so other states know how to follow suit. So show up, show them what decency looks like, show them what kind of world we want to live in and who reflects our policies and our values in this election. So I encourage everybody to go out and vote. And we are so grateful for the ways in which you have been showing up, Mel, and everybody on this call has been showing up to encourage our people to get out and cast our ballot. Thank you. Back over to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Michelle Dubois. We are so grateful to have you with us. We cannot end this economic segment without hearing from our dear sister who has been on the ground, boots on the ground, working, the president. And again, my soror. I'm not trying to start no confusion. It just is what it is. We got to bring up this amazing sister and our dear soror who's leading the A. Philip Randolph Institute. We've got to hear from her about economic justice. Can you please help me bring up the one and only Cleola Brown? Come on, y'all. Y'all can help me bring up
Oh my
Cleola Brown.
goodness. Oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. I'm sitting here. Thank you so much, Sister Michelle, who rocks the room just by walking in and cutting up, making us understand that there's a job that has to be done. And she wants you smiling when you're getting it done so that you can remember every moment of it. You are awesome, sister.
Thank you, sis.
And to our leader, Sister Melanie Campbell, thank you so much for always being inclusive. Another sister said a little bit earlier tonight that you got to bring somebody with you. You can't stand alone. There has never been a time when this is more important than right now. Everybody's smiling tonight. I've been smiling, praying, crying a little bit, getting scared a whole lot. And I'm gonna admit it, cussing, fussing, doing a little bit of everything else too to make folks understand that there's some stuff that we need to be doing by God, and it ain't no time to just sit still. And I see you, Reverend Skidder, so I'm not gonna cuss tonight on the Zoom. I promise you I won't do that. But I tell you what, some of the mess that's going on out there, folks trying to tell us what we can do with our own selves, our own bodies. If you don't have no one, why you messing with mine? If you don't have any of these things that are impacting you, how come you messing with ours?
That part.
We take a look at the economics of who we are. Women have always had to struggle, and some folks think that we are equal now, but we're still behind, at least by 40 cents for every dollar that a man makes. And you know, we work harder, and I'm not ashamed to say it, we work smarter, we work longer, and we always make sure that we're taking care of somebody else that will be empowered also. And most times it's another sister that we're helping to understand the dynamics of being in unity. Melanie has stressed unity forever and forever and ever. This year, more than ever, I have seen it taking its course because she won't let you rest. And thank God for it, Melanie. Thank you for all that you do. But as we take a look through the labor movement also, we have to know that the disparities still exist. And we don't have a strong voice unless we do it outside of the house, inside the house, around the corner, and everywhere else. Diane Babineau once said to me a long time ago, I don't even know if she remembered, if you're going to live in this house and you ain't got no job, but pack your bags. Because everybody got to bring something to the table besides your appetite. And that's the same way we had better feel about somebody going out to vote. If you don't think it's important, then you just go on out there to the stuff that you think is important. I love my son dearly, and he knows that that's a rule up in here. South Carolina, Trudy, brings some folks with short words. It's either yes, no, there ain't no maybe so. Yes, we've got to talk tough sometimes. Yes, we've got to talk loving sometimes, but we got to keep on talking to make this stuff make some sense. And even where we have partners that sometimes we don't get along, this time we don't get to pick. The rules and the factions that are out there really determines that it's going to take all of us to make a difference. And the difference won't start the day before it's time to vote. It started last year when some of us were lining up to make some noise and go to jail. It started the year before that when we could remember what it was like before we got some of these differences that we're talking about. And it starts every single day we get up to recruit somebody, to bring somebody else to the polls on the day to vote. Our Maryland is a perfect example. Lord, I haven't seen so many folks scared of a sister in my life. One that's a kind spirit, smart, intelligent, the whole nine, and all of a sudden they're going to talk about somebody's weaknesses and strength. You tell me who can stand up. We at APRI do not endorse anyone, but I tell you what, we ain't stupid. We are particular about those folks that will fight with us for those things that we are looking in order to gain for all of us. The time is right now. We've got to stand in the shoes that were made for us. That means if there's sneakers that are run over to the side, if they're pointed high heel shoes, brush them off and keep on stepping, sister. All of those things that will help us get there is what we've got to pull on now. I thank God every single day for being able to lean on you, sisters, to continue to give me strength and encouragement
when sometimes in the place where you work, live, and sleep, you don't get it. But y'all bring it, and I'm taking all of it because this fight is real, and I'm gonna be right there with you, talking Geechee, sometimes saying a few bad words, but I'm gonna still keep on talking, keep on walking until we get to the place where we know we've elected those people that will help us. Melanie, thank you so much for being inclusive. Dr. Johnson, thank you for being real clear about why you was walking them streets. And thank you to all of you who continue to lift each other up and not be selfish. I say to y'all, we got work to do, but we got shoulders of each other to lean on and to abide by. Thank y'all, and God bless you all. I'm going to stick right with you every step of the way.
Thank you so much, Sora Brown. We
Preach.
appreciate you. We like your four-letter words. Vote, V-O-T-E. We like them words. Those are good words. So we stand on vote now. You can use that four-letter word all you want. And every now and again, we need that Geechee. We need it. So we thank God for you. We thank God that you ain't too bourgeois because you're the president of A. Philip Randolph Institute. And so we have to say this. We are so excited to have with us Sister Jennifer Jones. She's going to touch quickly on economic justice. She's the president and CEO of Kaiser International Strategic Business Solutions. I hope I said it correctly, Soror.
Yes, you
please join us. Share with us your thoughts about why the power of the ballot is so critical for economic justice in your own way.
You absolutely did, my D9 sister. It is awesome to be here with you tonight to talk about the power of the vote. You see, this current federal administration has put into place all the way to 2031 grants and contracts, allowing minority set-aside contracts, allowing business opportunities, not hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions of dollars to go into communities that were divested in intentionally, communities where Bloody Sunday happened, intentionally denied access to capital through the states. And so in order for him to do what he's doing, we've got to have the right people in the House, the right people in the Senate, and we got to get our people out to vote. We've got to vote our priorities. We've got to vote our interests. We've got to vote for our community and the ones who may not be given the right to vote. We've got to lean in on business like we never have. Now, I know that we are not supposed to talk politics and maybe not faith, but I can't help but saying that the Torah, the Quran, and my Holy Bible all say that we are all supposed to know that if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from your wicked ways, I said turn, and humble themselves, then I will hear and heal their land. And so when they were talking about healing the land, it ain't enough to just pray. You got to act. Faith without works is dead. My Bible says, if you want it done, get the job done. So when our brothers tripping, trying to stand with people who don't have our interests at heart, what do you do? Don't call the brothers out. Call the brothers in and remind them that your mama, your grandmama, your sister, your daughters, we all need you. Vote. Talk to your sons and to your nephews and to your cousins and to all them folk on the job, all the brothers in the neighborhood, the one you see at the gas station, tell them they got to vote. Sometimes in political circles, our voices are not heard. Sometimes people ignore us and brush us off. Now, Black women are at the top, so they fighting us. They coming for us. They always been coming for us. They always been tripping. But guess what? We gonna stand on business. We gonna vote and talk so loud, they got to hear us. We're going to vote and stand on jobs, stand on opportunities, stand on resources, stand on funding for my community. We're going to stand on business for contracts and grants. We're going to stand on business for policies that are adopted to lift us up. I am a beautiful Black woman. I'm a strong Black woman. I'm a Christian Black woman. I'm all that in a bag of chips. If you fear me, that's because you don't know God. That ain't my business. That is not my business. I'm standing on business for my people at all times. So sisters, walk strong, talk loud, straighten your back up, pop your shoulders, and be all that God created you to be, knowing he got our backs. That's what I have to say. Stand on business.
Preach, Jennifer, preach.
You said that, Jennifer. You said that.
Preach, Jennifer.
Somebody pass the plate. Pass the plate, because
I
the
know
word
that's
has been
right.
served. The word
They
has been
already told
served,
you
man.
Maryland don't play. Maryland strong, baby.
Listen, we quit recess. We don't play no games. You understand me? Let's go. Let's go. We can't do this. We can't end this economic portion and jump into our faith, our last portal. We cannot do it without bringing up another one of our Divine Nine sisters, the president of Sister Lead and Sister Mo. She is here. She is on this screen. Can we help our dear sister Holly? Can we help Holly Holiday come to the screen? Share a few words, Holly, about economic justice and what the power of the ballot is all about.
Well, first of all, thank you, Jennifer, for going ahead of me so I can sound so excited. I'm trying to match your energy. You laid it out there for sure. I'm going to try to get there with you. This is really simple. It's really simple. And they've been saying it all night. They've been screaming it from the rooftops. The power of the ballot. You want to talk about we will not be erased? We will not be erased because we're going to stand up for diversity. We will not be erased because we're going to stand up for equity. We will not be erased because we're going to stand up for inclusion. Now, I know we are fortunate in Maryland that you think this is not going to touch us. But I want to let you know the reason it hasn't touched us is because we vote. The reason it hasn't touched us is because of the work we've already done and need to continue to do. I want to thank each and every one of you because of your voting in the past. We've been able to elect the kind of people who vote our values. But guess what? There's another election. And every election, there are people on the ballot who are not for us. And so every election, we have to get out and do that 4-letter word, like Michelle said. We have to vote. So if you care about all of the things, you care about your economics, you care about your healthcare, you care to make sure that in all of those things that Black people, because let's talk about some Black people real quick, that Black people have the same care and equity as everybody else, then this is the election that you need to vote in. Because despite the fact that we've been able to save our folks trying to roll back diversity, equity, inclusion in this state, what we haven't saved off is we still are victims of disparity in healthcare, in education, and in economics, which means we've done okay, but we got more work to do. And the work starts right now, because guess what, Maryland? Early vote has already started. And you can go to the polls right now until May 9th. Every day until May 9th, between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m., you can vote. Guess what? You ain't registered? Don't tell nobody. Just go on to the polls, because they will register you and let you vote on the same day. And if you miss early vote, if you miss it, you get one more shot at the apple, and that is going to be on May 14th. So you got plenty of opportunities to get up right now, do the right thing, and vote. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Holly. We appreciate you. You see, your Sora was in the chat, putting them pink and green hearts up in there.
Green, as long as we are voting, as long as we strolling, soling, rolling, and any other kind of way we need to get there. If it's at the polls, I'm with you.
I know that's right. We are so grateful to have you, and thank you so much for sharing. Now, we have to have this sister come up before we close this out. We have to have this sister come up and share with us a little bit about how the power of the ballot will be affecting our ability to have our freedoms to learn about our history, because she's here and we want her to speak. We want you to speak for a couple of minutes, sister. Sister Glenda Smiley, are you still here from the African American Forum? Are you still here for Freedom to Learn? I see your picture. But are you still with us? Okay. Okay. So going once, going twice, 3 times a lady. We know.
Well, let me do this, because I know I want to lift up.
I'm here. Apologies.
No,
it's that time of night. I'm doing bedtime duty with the littles and listening in.
But
Understood.
I want to hop on camera and say thank you so much. I've been hearing the call to action and freedom to learn talking points throughout the evening, and that really warms my heart. So Kimberly Crenshaw is one of the 4 leaders of the Freedom to Learn Coalition. And this Friday, we recently had our National Day of Action. We had our signature event in Washington, D.C. Miss Melanie was there. And we had a lot of leaders from different civil rights organizations, including NAN, NAACP, and others, really uplift the call to action for folks to vote, for folks to take this critical moment that we're in our country, where we're seeing educational censorship and all forms of suppression very seriously, and to take it seriously with our advocacy and our action. So one of the things that we're asking folks to do throughout this summer, we're calling it Freedom Summer 2024, in honor of the 60-year anniversary of the Freedom Schools in Mississippi. And we're asking people to do grassroots organizing, teach-ins, ban book drives, voter registration drives, to really mobilize people, but also to educate them about this moment that we're going through, and that it's actually a repetition of history that we need to know about, so that we can stop that history from repeating, stop the retrenchment and the rolling back of our rights that we've been witnessing. And so sorors, other D9 sisters and friends, one of my big asks for today is in addition to doing a Freedom Summer activity in different organizations that you're affiliated with, please support our sister, Professor Kimberly Crenshaw, by attending some of the Freedom to Learn homerooms that the African American Policy Forum is hosting. They'll be hosted every other Thursday, and the next one will be on May 16th, next Thursday. And support our other Freedom to Learn initiatives. We'll be doing another activation on Juneteenth.
Thank you
for
so
the
much.
time.
No, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much. We understand the littles. I'm just so grateful. I've been delivered from the littles. Mine are all old, so we thank God for that. I ain't got to be putting nobody to bed, and if I'm putting them to bed at 22, they got bigger issues that need to be put to bed. But we thank you so much for you just being diligent about the freedom to learn, and we want more information about how we can support and why it's important for us to get to the ballot, so that we will have the freedom to learn. Thank you so much again, Sora. We are proud of the work that you're doing, and we will champion and partner with you. With that being said, Mel, is it okay to bring up our good sister to give us come this far by faith?
Yes.
I'm rocking and rolling. I feel good about this, ladies.
Before we do,
I knew you were going to say something.
Get everybody to come off mic for a second. I want us to say this. We had a rally, right?
Yes.
Virtual, right?
Right.
Yes. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready? So I want you to repeat after me. Say, power the ballot.
Power the ballot.
Let me try this again. Power the ballot.
Power of the ballot.
Power the sister vote.
Power of the sister vote.
We're gonna own our power.
We're gonna own our power.
Mobilize in the state of Maryland.
Mobilize in the state of Maryland.
We're gonna make Black her story in the
State
state of
Maryland. State of Maryland.
Dr. Barbara Williams Skinner, we turn it over to you.
Before we bring up Dr. William Skinner, we have to say this. We have come this far by faith.
Yes.
So let's make history in Maryland together. And as we do that, Dr. Barbara Williams Skinner, who is the co-chair of the National African American Clergy Network, can you help us come this far? Can you put a nice bow on this thing, on this rally for tonight, and take us out of here? And we'll have our closing remarks after you by our Vice President of Operations and Events Manager, Ms. Tanya Tyson. But for now, Dr.
First
Skinner,
of all, let's just thank God for Melanie. Let's just not take this sister for granted. You all don't know what it takes to lead us. And so thank you, Melanie. Thank you for the brilliance that you bring, and that you don't quit. There's no quit in you. And so there's no quit in us. Sisters, for 406 years, from the slave house to the White House, Black women have been fighting. We have been, even when
1870 came and Black men could vote. We couldn't. We've been pulling up the rear for a very, very long time. And when I hear the brilliance and the savvy and the strategy and the thoughtfulness of women on this call tonight, I know why they're scared. I know where they're coming for us. But you know what? We serve a mighty God. And Melanie will have to remind us from time to time that when the Black Women's Roundtable started, it started because they didn't even want us in the cabinet at the Obama White House that we got there. So even when we bring people, when we power people, they don't even want us in the room because they are scared of our power. Understand that. And we're not backing down and we're not scared. But the issue is that we have always been in adversity, and sometimes it feels like there's more coming at us than we can handle. But every single time we've rallied together, every time we put aside our individuality and said, put the we instead of the me, we have prevailed every single fight, every battle we have been in. And so it sometimes, like when you get to this situation where we know that we're standing between not two Democratic alternatives or a Republican and Democratic alternative, we're standing against someone who wants to deconstruct back to the Reconstruction, everything that has been built since the Civil War. That's what we are standing against. Anyone who's crazy enough to not vote is saying, I don't care about my life, because that is really what this is really all about. This is a life and death matter we're at. But when I get into this kind of a battle, I go straight to the book. And because I know a God who sits up high and looks low and sees everything, I ain't scared. Because I know the one who's from everlasting to everlasting, who is already in our midnight when we wake up in the morning. I ain't scared. But I want to take you to 1 Kings 6, where here is a prophet, a young prophet. He's in a battle against the king because he's calling the king to righteousness and justice for the oppressed. The king is overwhelmed and embarrassed and upset, and he says, we're shutting him down. The prophet and his servant move out of the area of danger to where they thought they were safe, but they were found, and the next morning, in the place where they thought they were safe, they were surrounded by the king and his army. The man of God had not awakened yet, but the servant got up, and what he saw was above them, where they were hiding out, was this vast array of war horses and warriors ready to take them out. And he said, "Oh, my master, wake up, we are doomed." The master looked around. He saw the same thing that the servant saw. He saw the war horses. He saw all of the king and his men ready with all their armament. And he said he had a different message. He looked up and he said, "God, open my servant's eyes, that he will see that there's more with us than against us." Sisters, there's more with us than against us. We just have to go find them. Beauty shop, nail shop, toenail shop, whatever it takes. Everybody is not in a convenient place for us. They're more with us than against us. 1 million people did not vote in Georgia, the majority women. 6 states in 2016 where the man won, we were overwhelmingly unregistered to vote. This is our election to win or to lose. But we have everything we need. There are more with us than against us. Sisters, say out of your mouth tonight, there are more with us than against us. There are more with us than against us. There are more with us than against us. Because if God is for us, who can be against us? Who can be against God's love? And he says, stand still and see the salvation of God. Yeah. He says, get ready to fight. But if you get ready, if you do all you can, he says, after you've done all you can to stand, after you've registered, after you've mobilized, after you've gotten people organized, then stand still and watch God work. I don't care if you pray to God, Jehovah, or you pray to whom it may concern. You have got to understand something bigger than you has got to take hold of this evil. We're dealing with a level of evil that no level of organizing alone can stand.
Man.
It has to be all of our energy plus God. And us plus God is a majority.
That's right.
Who can stand against God's elect? Amen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Skinner. Thank you. We love you. We love you. We thank God for you, your boldness, your fearlessness, and your staunch support. We're going to close this thing out with Tanya Tyson. And after Tanya, our dear sister Latasha Brown is here on the platform. She's going to sing us out of here from Black Voters Matter. Tanya Tyson, our Vice President of Operations, can you share what you have to share with us tonight? And we'll bring Latasha on.
I'm sorry. Like Melanie always say, technology works when it works. Good evening, sisters. As most of you all know, I am Tanya Tyson, VP of Operations and Events Management. I don't know what to say after all these powerful, dynamic sisters tonight. I mean, Jennifer took us to church. Dr. Johnson and Dr. Gwendolyn Boyd gave us the ABCs to act, be bold, and be committed. Dr. Johnson told us to vote. You remember these 4 words? So after this tonight, I am pumped up and ready to go. And as we know, Maryland is strong and we got this. And as Holly told y'all, everybody used most of my talking points. So Holly said that, you know, early voting is out May the 2nd through the 9th. And you can vote on election day, no excuses. If you're not registered, you can register that day and vote on the same day. And I also want to plug that the Unity Campaign will be in Maryland from May the 2nd through the 14th. So follow us. And if you all want to volunteer, we're doing canvassing and phone banking. So you can go to Unity Campaign and sign up. And, you know, Maryland, we got this, okay? I mean, y'all did all my talking points, so hey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tanya Tyson. We appreciate you.
Miss
That's what
Tanya.
happens when you linked up with the right folks and everybody's on message.
And when they say the best for last, as Joy said.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So Latasha, can you take us out? Tell us who can stand before us when we call on your great
Can't
name.
hear you, Michelle.
I said, Latasha, can you take us out?
Yes, ma'am. I would just say good evening, sisters. We're going to close this out real quick. There is a little word that God has been putting on my spirit to really study this idea around how do we find our North Star. And if you know anything about Harriet Tubman, you know that Harriet Tubman was actually used the North Star to navigate herself to freedom. And so the CNN had asked me on an interview a couple of weeks ago around what are we going to do in this dark night of political history, the dark night of the soul. And the first thing that came to mind to me was, what we're going to do is we're going to follow the North Star. At the end of the day, when we know that at nighttime, right, there's stars in the sky all the time, y'all. There are always stars in the sky, but the only time that you actually see the stars shine is at night. And the interesting thing about stars is that there are some stars that they're called dead stars, that we're seeing the stars, but really they're the residue of their former glory. You're seeing the former glory when they used to shine, but they're long gone. And so we're in an era right now that we have to really recognize that some folk that are in power, their time is up. It is over with. God has bringing new stars into space. And it's in this moment that many of our people, some folks see the dark time as a fearful time. Some people see the dark time as a time for us to shine. So this is the moment that literally in the moment where we're seeing what it seems like political darkness, sisters, we are the shine. And so in light of that, I'm going to sing my grandmother's favorite song and Fannie Lou Hamer's favorite song. And many of you all may know it. And so we're going to close on out being who we are. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine.
Hey, everybody come off mute. Come off mute.
Let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. All right, sisters, it's time to shine. Get your sparkles out, get your lights up. We are the stars. Like literally, God said a multitude in the sky. It is only at nighttime that stars can be seen. This is our moment for us to shine.
Yeah.
So
Can you
thank
sing
all.
that one
Be
more
blessed.
time? Can you sing that
One more
one more
again.
time?
Y'all got all right, one more again.
Yes.
One more time.
Everywhere we
This
go.
is the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
I know that's right.
Come
I
on,
know that's
sister.
right. You better sing it, Latasha Brown.
Find them lights, y'all. Love y'all.
Love you.
Love you
Vote,
all. Thank you
ladies.
so
Vote,
much.
Remember,
Maryland.
get out
Turn
the
out.
vote, Maryland. We
Come
got
on,
to show
man.
them
Vote
what
yes.
we doing.
You
Yes.
got this.
All right.
Powerful,
Yes.
y'all. We were ready for this
Thank you,
moment.
DJ Kiwi. Take us out. Thank you, DJ Kiwi, for everything. We thank you so much.
Girl,
Thank
we
you for
run this
having me,
mother.
ladies. Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
Make
sister.
sure, because
Everybody do
ladies,
this
we
thing.
do run this
Thank
world.
y'all. Do
Yes.
y'all dance, the happy dance. Hey, hey. Girl, we gonna do it. And good night,
Go vote,
everybody.
Good
girls.
night.
Go vote,
See you
Good
in
Maryland.
night,
Maryland, May
Vote,
2nd through
everybody.
May
Maryland. Let
14th.
them know we strong, Maryland.
Maryland,
Maryland strong, Maryland
Maryland
strong, Maryland
Yes.
strong.
strong.
May
Yes.
2nd, May 2nd through May 14th.
Yes.
They will be canvassing, and you can sign up and phone bank and everything else. We are 100,000 strong.
Thank you, Kiki. Kiwi, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, ladies.
LA,
Love
you are
and get
awesome,
ready to
girl.
vote.
Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night, Mel.
Good night.
Thank you,
Night.
Mel.
Love y'all.
Great
Love
job,
you.
Mel.
Thank
Love
you
you
for your
back, girl.